People see the skull and think it's just a symbol, something painted on to make me look official. The skull's not decoration, it's identification. It's the face beneath the face, the only true revelation. I chose it because it's honest, at least it doesn't pretend. A skull doesn't smile, doesn't comfort, doesn't bother with the end. It just tells you clearly, in a language everyone speaks, what you're looking at when you're looking at me. Ask me how I feel, I'll give you nothing. Ask me what I think, same answer, son. The mask doesn't cover what's inside me. The mask is what's inside. Everything else is gone. Everything else is long gone. This is the skull beneath, the one I wear to breathe, the one that keeps you second guessing whether I'm beyond your reach. This is the skull beneath, the truth I cannot speak. Not grief, not love, not mercy, just the skull beneath, just the skull beneath. Watched a man beg once in 4 languages. He tried every register, every plea, every thesis. I gave him time, I let him finish every single word, because I used to be the kind of man for whom that mattered. Now I'm something else, now I'm something less. Now I'm something the enemy sees in the dark and forgets to breathe. And I don't carry any guilt about it, I don't carry anything. That's the whole point. That was always the whole point. Don't mistake my stillness for peace. Don't mistake my quiet for weakness. Don't mistake this mask for armor. The armor's what I am underneath. I am the armor underneath. I am everything underneath. This is the skull beneath, the one second guessing whether I'm beyond your reach. This is the skull beneath, the truth I cannot speak. Not grief, not love, not mercy, just the skull beneath, just the skull beneath. There was a girl once, maybe. There was a laugh once, I think. There was a version of me that sat at a table and didn't calculate exits before I could blink. I'd give anything for 1 hour of that, 1 hour of not being this. But I wouldn't trust myself with it anymore. The weapon has been the weapon too long. The weapon is all there is. And honestly, I stopped grieving that a long time ago. I stopped grieving everything. That's how you get through. That's the only way through. This is the skull beneath, the only face I keep, the one that makes you quiet when you see me in your sleep. This is the skull beneath, the last honest thing I own. Not grief, not love, not mercy, Been replaying every second, every route, looking for the moment where I could have turned the tide. Instead I'm sitting in a bar on the wrong side of a lie. I see their faces when the glass is empty. I see their faces when it's full. I see them in the space between sleeping and waking, in every room, in every low. 9 voices in my head, and not one of them says anything. Not one of them forgives me. Not one of them says anything at all. Guilt is a funny thing. It sharpens like a blade. The longer that you carry it, the cleaner cut it makes. And I've been carrying this one every hour, every breath, from the moment that I walked away from all the rest of the dead. Last man breathing doesn't mean you won. Last man breathing means you're the only one who knows exactly what happened there, who carries every name. Last man breathing is just another word for blame, just another name for blame. Shepherd shook my hand and called me a hero to my face. I could taste the ash of everything that happened in that place. Heroes are the ones who don't come home to be called it. I'm just a malfunction, the glitch that wouldn't commit. Don't thank me for my service, don't look me in the eye. Don't ask me what I saw out there, don't ask me why I'm fine. I'm not fine, I haven't been fine since the night I was the only one who made it out alive. The night I was the only one. And every time I close my eyes, the count comes back to 1. Every time I count the living, I'm always the only one. I'm always the only goddamn one. Last man breathing doesn't mean you won. Last man breathing means you're the only one who knows what happened there, who carries every name. Last man breathing is just another word for blame, just another word for blame. I tried to drown it in the dark, I tried to sweat it out in the field. Nothing drowns what you carry inside you. Nothing convinces your body to heal. So I suit up, I show up, I take the next mission, because moving forward is the only way I know how to stand still. Moving is the only thing I have left that feels like something. Moving is the only way I know how to stay until what I don't know, until when I can't say. I just know the only thing keeping me going is the fact that I might need to go one more goddamn day. Last man breathing wishing he wasn't. I've dug more graves than I can count with both hands, and sand and mud and frozen ground across a dozen different lands. I know the weight of a man wrapped in a flag. I know the sound of silence when the dog tags come back. I know the shape of a coffin in the dark. I know what it costs to lower someone you trusted into the ground of a country they never wanted, to the ground with nothing but a number. I don't say a prayer, I don't know the words, I just stand at attention and let the wind be heard. Their past suffering, the past the cold. I'm the only one left carrying what they were told. This is the cold ground sermon, preached to nobody but the dead. These are the cold ground songs, everything that should have been said. I am the last right standing in a church with no walls, no roof, no God. The cold ground sermon is all we've got, all we've ever got. Martinez went down in an alley in Juarez. Cooper bled out in a field. Medevac was too far. Price held the line when the line didn't deserve holding, and nobody talked about what that cost him. Nobody talks about any of it. We just file the report, we just mark the map, we just pack up the gear and we don't look back, because looking back opens up something that doesn't have a name in any language, that doesn't have a bottom. I burn the names into the inside of my skull, so when they ask me if I'm empty, I can say I'm full, full of every face that trusted me to lead, full of every night I couldn't give them what they need. This is the cold ground sermon, preached to nobody but the dead. These are the cold ground songs, everything that should have been said. I am the last rock standing in a church with no walls, no roof, no God. The cold ground sermon is all we've got, all we've ever got. I swore I wouldn't crack, I swore I wouldn't cry. I kept that promise every single time, and now I can't find the road back, back to somewhere I feel something real, back to a morning that doesn't cost everything. I held the line, I always hold the line, even when the line is the last living thing. They asked me once if it was worth it. I stood there in the rain and said nothing, because some questions don't deserve an answer. Some questions are only asked by people who've never had to dig. This is the cold ground sermon for the ones who never came home. These are the cold ground songs for the ones I carried alone. I the only prayer I know in this God-forsaken place. Rest now, I'll handle it. Rest now, I always do. Rest now. Came out the other side with nothing left to grieve. They put a rifle in my hand, said, son, this is your name. I swallowed every word down whole and never felt the shame. I've slept in the mud of 4 continents. I watched the sun rise over rubble, and every time it looked the same. You get used to the trouble, you get used to the wait, you get used to the fact that the person you were when you left isn't coming back. The smoke fills up my lungs, the silence fills my chest. I buried everyone I loved and kept nothing for the rest. I kept nothing for the rest. I am smoke and bone, no flesh, no fear, no home. A shadow walking through your hell, a dead man who forgets to fall. I am smoke and bone, the coldest thing you'll ever know. I don't bleed, I don't break, I just burn and take. I just burn and take. Got something behind his eyes. I scraped it clean somewhere around 09. My mother's face is faded to a blur. The only thing that's still in focus is what happens when I pull. I tried to explain it once to someone who asked. She listened with her whole face, leaned forward, gave a damn. I watched her try to find me in the words I was saying, and I watched her realize there was nothing left worth saving, nothing worth saving. The smoke fills up my lungs, the darkness fills my chest. I put my brothers in the ground and kept nothing for myself, nothing for myself. I am smoke and bone, no flesh, no fear, no home. A shadow walking through your hell, a dead man who forgets to fall. I am smoke and bone, the coldest thing you'll a scar. I wore his face home, and nobody noticed. Nobody held a candle in the window, nobody called. I stood at the door of everything I came from, and felt absolutely nothing at all. Absolutely nothing at all. Just smoke and bone. See his face. I've been standing in your shadow for the last 3 days. You shook hands with your wife this morning at the door. You never felt my eyes on your back, never heard my boots cross your floor. You sat at your table like the world made sense. You poured your coffee, checked your phone, not a breath of consequence. While I mapped every exit, timed every rotation, you went about your life with perfect, clean damnation. There's no record of me in any government file, no birth certificate, no photograph, no profile. I don't exist on paper, I don't exist at all. I'm just the last sound you'll hear before the curtain falls. There's no name on the bullet that's already in the air, no face behind the trigger, no conscience anywhere. I'm not a man, I'm a verdict, written in smoke and lead. No name on the bullet that finds you in your bed. No name, no name, no name. They gave me 16 names, and none of them were mine. I burned the last identity somewhere on the Rhine. You can't hunt a ghost, son. You can't cut what ain't there. You can't bribe what doesn't want. You can't threaten what doesn't care. They sent free men to find me once, well-trained, well-armed, well-paid. I came home with their gear. They came home in a body bag, and the case was filed as unsolved, and the case was filed away. No fingerprints, no footprints left in the snow, no witness still alive who watched me go. I don't beg, I don't explain, I don't justify the rain. I'm just the consequence of someone else's deadly game. There's no name on the bullet that's already in the air, no face behind the trigger, no conscience anywhere. on the bullet that finds you in your bed. No name, no name, no name. Maybe once there was a boy who had a name worth keeping, a family, a town, a laugh, a reason for sleeping. But that boy made a choice on a cold and empty morning, traded everything he had for the right to stop the bleeding. And he doesn't miss a thing, not a goddamn thing. You want a monster with a conscience, wrong line of work, wrong everything. There's no name on the bullet, already in the air. No face behind the trigger, no mercy anywhere. I'm not a man, I'm an outcome, carved in smoke and lead. No name on the bullet, no name on the bullet, no name on the bullet that finds you in your bed. No name, just a job. No face, just a job. No soul, just a job. A city they'd already sold. The intel was a lie, wrapped in orders, clean and cold. Shepard knew the outcome before we crossed the wire. He sent 12 men to die and filed the mission as a success in the debrief. I found out in the field with the proof on my hands, the kind of truth that doesn't let you go back to where you stand. So I did the math. The math was simple. I ran the numbers twice, and I haven't lost a single hour of sleep over what I decided that night. I don't operate on passion, I operate on patterns. I don't do this out of anger. Out of anger would be sloppy, out of anger wouldn't miss. I do this because the numbers are clear, and the numbers say this. Burn the coordinates, salt the earth they stand on. Burn the coordinates, there's no one left to pardon. I don't need a reason, I've already weighed the cost. Burn the coordinates, burn every bridge and cross, every bridge and cross. You think a man like me runs on emotion? I run on data, I run on execution. You think betrayal breaks me? Betrayal clarifies, strips away the last of what I might have been otherwise. And what's left is clean, what's left is quiet, what's left is purpose with no noise attached. I don't hate you for what you did to my unit, I hate myself for not seeing the trap. That's the only thing I'll let myself feel. That's the only thing I'll spend on it. 1 second of self-contempt, and then I get to work, and then I get to work. Don't beg me for a reason, don't ask me to explain. You wrote this outcome the second you lit the fuse. I'm just fanning the flame. I'm just fanning the flame. I'm just fanning your flame. Burn the coordinates, soft the earth they stand on. Burn the coordinates, there's no one left to pardon. I don't need a reason, I've already weighed the cost. Burn the coordinates, burn every bridge and cross, every bridge and cross. I could have walked away. I thought about it once, for about 4 seconds between the first shot and the last. Then I thought about Martinez and Cooper and the others, and I realized that walking away is for men who have a past. I don't have a past, I just have the next thing, and the next thing after that, and the next thing, and the next thing is you. Watch it all.